Hey guys, welcome to another level 1 MCAT prep viewer question. This was sent to me in Facebook. If you do have any questions, pop it in the comment section below or send it to my Facebook page. So let's get started. What we have here is we've got a quadratic divided by a quadratic equals 2/3, and then it's actually telling you solve this equation to show that there's only one solution. Now, I'm actually going to show you guys how to do this method in two different ways, and you don't need to show it both ways, but as long as you understand one method, then it's absolutely fine. So the first method I'm going to show you guys is by factorizing the numerator and the denominator. So we've got 10x squared plus 13x minus 3. I want to factorize it and put it into two brackets. So I'm basically looking for two numbers that multiply to minus 30 and add up to positive 13. So my two numbers are going to be 15 plus negative 2 and 15 times negative 2. So what I'm wanting to do is I want to split that 13x as 15 and negative 2. So when I do that, I'm going to get 10x squared plus 15x minus 2x minus 3. Now I need to factorize them by parts. So in my first instance, I've got 5x as a common factor. So taking out 5x, I'm going to get 2x plus 3. And then for the right hand side part, I can see that negative 1 is a common factor. So take out negative 1 and I'm going to get 2x plus 3. And now I can see that 2x plus 3 is a common factor. So I can rewrite that as 2x plus 3 multiplied by 5x minus 1. So, and you can see the 5x is from there and negative 1 is from there. Now I'm going to give you guys a bit of a clue, particularly with level 1 MCAT, or even if you're doing level 2. When you have a quadratic over another quadratic, majority of the times one of them is going to have, there's going to be one factor that's going to be common between the two of them. So what I'm telling you right now is that looking at that the two factors that we have, we've got 2x plus 3 and 5x minus 1. And if I look at the bottom denominator if I factorize the bottom denominator, one of those brackets is going to be 5x minus 1 or 2x plus 3. And looking at the numbers, we got a very good feeling that one of those factors is going to be 5x minus 1. So instead of wasting time, you could actually do this. I mean, this is just a sidetrack, and I know I'm going sidetrack, but it's going to work out. So how, you've got 5x squared plus 9x minus 2. So if we actually say, okay, that is not a good place to be working with. So what I mean by is like 5x squared plus 9x minus 2. So from looking at the numerator, in the numerator there was already a 5x minus 1. That means my very good guess is that we've got 5x here and we've got 5x squared. That means this has got to be x. And then we've got negative 1 times some number equals negative 2, which means that number there is going to be plus 2. Okay, that's a quick way of doing it. And you can always double check whether it works. And in this case, just looking at it, you've got 5x times 2, which is 10x. 10x minus 9x is minus 1x is 9x. So it does work out. So, but I'm still going to do it in a separate way just to show you that it actually works out. So we factorize the numerator, and the denominator is 5x squared plus 9x minus 2. So once again, I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to minus 10 and add up to positive 9. So in this case, it's going to be positive 10 times negative 1 plus negative 1 and positive 10 times negative 1. So I'm going to replace 9x with 10 and negative 1. And when I do that, I'm going to get 5x squared plus 10x. And I'm going to split it up, and I've got negative 1x minus 2. So in the left hand side, I've got 5x as a common factor, which means it's going to be x plus 2. And then in the right hand side, I've got negative 1 as a common factor, which means I'm going to get x plus 2. And what you guys should see right now is that x plus 2 is a common factor, which I showed you earlier. That's just a shortcut way of doing it. And so in this case, we're going to get 5x minus 1 times x plus 2. So once again, the 5x is from there and the negative 1 is from there. So all I've done is I've factorized the numerator and denominator, and all of that is equal to 2/3. So if I go back to my original question, and in the numerator, I'm going to put 5x minus 1 multiplied by 2x plus 3. And then in the denominator, I'm going to put 5x minus 1 multiplied by x plus 2. and this was actually equal to 2 over 3. So at this point, I can cancel out two of my two common factors, and I'm left over with 2x plus 3 over x plus 2 equals 2 over 3. So because I have a fraction equals to a fraction, I can cross multiply, and what I'm going to end up with is 3 multiplied by 2x plus 3 equals 2 multiplied by x plus 2. So expand the brackets. So I've got 3 times 2x, which is 6x, 3 times 3, which is 9, equals 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 2 is 4. So bringing my x's to one side and taking the numbers to the other side, so 2x now becomes minus 2x, positive 9 becomes minus 9, and we've still got that 4 there. Where have I made a mistake? Nope, it looks right. Sorry, just thought I made a mistake somewhere. Just wanted to double check my working. So we got 6x minus 2x, which is 4x, 4 minus 9, which is negative 5. And as you can see, x is equal to negative 5 over 4. And because I only have one answer for this question, I can put one solution, and then x is equal to minus 5 over 4. Now, the second way of doing it is it still does require you to factorize, but this is the second way of doing it. Let's go back here. So what we had was we had 10x squared plus 13x minus 3 over 5x squared plus 9x minus 2 equals 2 over 3. So because we have a fraction over fraction, we can cross multiply, and what we end up with is a ugly looking quadratic, because we're going to get 3 10x squared plus 13x minus 3 equals 2 times 5x squared plus 9x minus 2. So expand the brackets. We've got 30x squared plus 39x minus 9 equals 2 times 5x squared is 10x squared plus 18x minus 4. So bringing all my terms to the left hand side, so I'm going to bring in, just going to write this up slightly different, 30x squared plus 39x minus 9 and equals to 0, because when I bring 10x squared it becomes minus 10x squared. When I bring 18x it's minus 18x, and then minus 4 becomes plus 4. So what I'm left over with is 20x squared plus 39 minus 18 is 21x, and then minus 9 plus 4 is minus 5 is equal to 0. Now I got to factorize this, so which means I've got 20 times negative 5, which equals negative 100. So I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 100 and add up to 21, which is going to be 25 plus negative 4, or 25 times negative 4. So I'm going to change the 21x to 25 and negative 4. So I'm going to end up with 20x squared plus 25x minus 4x minus 5 equals to 0. So split them up by parts. The left hand side I've got 5x as a common factor, which means it's going to be 4x plus 5. And then on the right hand side of the part I've got negative 1 as a common factor. So take that out and I'm going to get 4x plus 5 equals to 0. And now you can see that 4x plus 5 and 4x plus 5 are common factors. So you take them out, and what you've got is 4x plus 5 times 5x minus 1 equals to 0. So at this point, just to show you, 5x came from there, negative 1 comes from there. Now we need to solve it, put it equal to 0. So we got 4x plus 5 equals to 0, or 5x minus 1 equals to 0. Now 4x equals negative 5, and then x is equal to negative 5 over positive 4. And as for the other version, we've got 5x is equal to positive 1, and then x is equal to 1 over 5. Now notice how we've actually got two answers in this situation. Alright, and I guess this is the problem with doing this. The second method is you've actually got two answers, which means you've actually got to go back and substitute the answer to try and figure out which one is the correct one and which one is the incorrect one. And generally speaking, if your denominator is equal to 0, because remember your original question was this, right? Because you had 10x squared plus 13x minus 3 divided by 5x squared plus 9x minus 2 equals to 2 over 3. So generally speaking, if you put one of these numbers, so you've got 1 over 5 and negative 5 over 4, and remember the question actually says show that it only has one solution. So that generally means if you put one of these answers there, you're gonna end up getting one of these answers is not going to actually work out. So the problem is you still have to factorize the denominator once more, because if you factorize the denominator, remember how we got earlier, we've got 5x minus 1 times, I think it was x plus 2. Now here's the kicker. If you actually put 1/5 in here, what happens is that bracket becomes 5 times 1 over 5 minus 1, which actually equals to 0. And if that denominator equals to 0, then that means you can't actually find a solution. So therefore, and you have to actually write a statement about it. So you have to actually say if x equals 1 over 5, then denominator equals to 0. Therefore this question has only one solution, which is x is equal to negative 5 over 4. As you can see, there's a lot more work to do in the second method. I would actually just stick with the first method for this type of question to actually prove that there's only one solution. Sorry about the long video, guys, but that's basically it for this one. As always, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and of course subscribe to keep up with the latest content and live tutorials. There should be some playlists popping up. Have a look. Good luck for your revision. Thank you for watching.